Thank you for joining us for this segment of Goddard at a Glance. I am Council Member Sarah Leland. With me today is Brooke Brandenburg, City of Goddard Public Works Director. Brooke, thank you for joining me. The purpose of this video series is to bring transparency to the citizens of Goddard and hopefully help answer questions about city and community services. Brooke, can you please give us a brief overview of what services the Public Works Department is responsible for?
Sure, we're responsible for our water system from pumping to distribution, our wastewater system, collections and treatment, city parks, streets, and rights-of-way.
Great. Thank you for that overview. Let's dig a little deeper into a few services that a lot of people would like to learn more about. First, let's talk about road maintenance and repair. So we know that there are different processes and level of maintenance to complete replacement and/or paving of roads. Can you walk us through the process of repairing roadways in our community and how it is determined what level of service a roadway requires?
Sure, there are two ways we address street maintenance and repairs in the City of Goddard. The first is through an annual maintenance budget, and that budget is set forth for basically maintaining streets and roadways that are already in relatively good condition to keep them from deteriorating worse. And that involves things like crack sealing, edge sealing, and maybe adding asphalt rejuvenators, things like that. The second way is through capital projects, and that's for larger projects that require a total rebuild and are much more expensive. And that process includes determining what roadway needs to be done, getting an engineer's estimate, sitting down with finance and the governing body, determining what kind of timeline we're going to do that on, where the financing is going to come from, whether it's going to be a budget item, capital budget item, or a bond type situation. Then we will go to bid and make the repairs.
Awesome. Speaking of roadways, one of the most important duties of the Public Works Department is to keep our roadways clean and safe during inclement weather. Can you walk us through what happens when inclement weather is expected?
Now, keeping roads clear of snow and ice, I've learned over the years, is more of an art than a science. There are a lot of variables involved, sometimes such as temperatures in the preceding days before the storm hits, road temperatures, and whether we're going to receive rain immediately or we're going to receive ice or snow. It depends on what's coming first. Now, if the conditions are suitable, first thing we will do is apply salt brine to the roads, and that is prior to the storm. And the reason we put that down is because it adds a layer of salt protection that when the inclement weather hits, whether it be ice or snow, it starts the melting process. It makes it easier for when the cars are heading down that road to break that ice up, and so it melts. That's the first thing we would do. Now, the follow-up to that also depends on weather. If it's snow, we'll put the plows on the ground and we'll spread some rock salt to get it off the roadways, and then the rock salt will expedite the melting of whatever's left on, give us nice clear roads. If we get a lot of snow and ice and it's packed and it's hard to or impossible to plow it all off, then we'll add some sand in with that rock salt to add a little bit of a traction barrier, so that way people pulling up and to and from intersections can make a safe stop and accelerate properly. We just keep going and going and going night and day until the roads are clear, and that's pretty much what we do. We don't slow down.
I think you teased me last time about getting my CDL. And
no, probably so.
The city did not need that liability.
And that's something people don't understand. It's, oh, you're just pushing snow. Sit behind a snow plow for about 8 or 9 hours, and you will be very fatigued. Your eyes are fatigued. You're just worn out. Yeah. And sometimes we run short on manpower, depending on the storm. But we keep going.
Yeah. I can say that I personally appreciate the work that you and your team do to help keep our community safe. It's not an easy job to get out early in the cold to clear the roads. Let's move on to another topic that I think is important for the community to learn about: water. Where does the water for the City of Goddard come from, and can you tell us a little about what is required for the city to maintain water quality?
Yeah, the city has 4 water wells at undisclosed locations. We don't disclose that because of security purposes. We pump our water from that. Once it's pumped, it is disinfected via chlorine and then pumped into our above ground storage facilities. We have a 500,000 gallon tank above ground, and then we also have a 500,000 gallon elevated storage tank, which is the water tower. Water flows from that through our distribution system to all of our customers. The way we keep the water safe is we do 5 samples from 5 different locations around the city every 2 weeks, send them through a third-party lab. They check it for various types of bacteria and other contaminants, and those results are transmitted to us and to Kansas Department of Health and Environment. We have, and since I've been here 4 years, we have not had a single bad lab result. I've got a really outstanding crew that goes out there. We keep our system clean, we keep it functioning properly, and we take our water very seriously.
Yes. Can you also explain about the hard water that Goddard does have? It's not bad water, but it's hard. How can people combat that in their homes?
Yeah, since we pump our water directly from the well and disinfect it, it doesn't go through a treatment plant, it still has a lot of the minerals that come from the groundwater. Those can wreak havoc on things. The best way to address that is have a good quality functioning water softener in your home and maintain that water softener. A lot of people don't realize they have filters that need to be changed. Sometimes it'll go into cleaning mode and it will bypass and it will cause discolored water in their home. But the biggest way is to just maintain a quality water softener properly, and it'll get all those minerals out, and it'll make the water a lot easier on your laundry, showering, and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Before we go, there's one other area I would like to mention. Now that it's getting warmer, let's talk about our parks and what it takes to keep the areas looking nice and our public amenities working.
Parks are something we take very seriously in Goddard as well. We love for our residents to come out and visit our parks. We have the splash pad at Linear Park in the Pavilion, a very popular park. Part of our maintenance is obviously a grass preservation program. We contract with a professional company that comes out various times in the year and provides different fertilization, overseeding, aeration as needed through the parks to kind of build that turf up. We started that last year. We saw a great increase in the quality of our grass last year. I think it'll get better every year. Another thing that we do is we keep it mowed and trimmed. Weekly, we've got a mowing crew that comes out and they mow, they trim, they weed eat everything. We're very particular about that as well. We want them here on Thursday or Friday so that when everyone's playing in the park, the grass isn't up to their knees. You'll notice this year, 5 new shade structures have been erected over at the park. We've got 4 over various benches around the playgrounds, and we've got a large one over a patio. We're going to add a handful of picnic tables over there so people can sit in the shade and watch their kids play, have picnics or whatever, and trash receptacles. Something else that's coming up, we've got Neighbors United at the end of April. We are adding 6 additional flower planters to Linear Park. We are going to run irrigation to all the planters so they are watered automatically when the grass is watered. And I think that's going to look really nice. But the biggest impact on our park quality is daily maintenance. Keeping the restroom clean, keeping the trash picked up, keeping the trash receptacles empty. That is the biggest thing, because you can have all the nice amenities, but if you don't keep it clean and inviting, people aren't going to come.
Right? Yeah. And we have 3 wonderful parks here in Goddard. We have the little pocket park by the library that has a few seating areas that are shaded. We have Means Park that's adjacent to our city pool that you guys also maintain.
Yes.
That has a basketball court, playground, covered picnic tables. And then we have Linear Park, which has a walking path, our disc golf, the pavilion, the playground. The city storm shelter is also located there. You guys do a great job keeping our parks neat and tidy. And
as I said before, I have an outstanding crew,
yeah.
And they work hard.
Yes, they do. Thank you again for joining me and helping to learn more about what your department does for the community. If someone has a question about the services you provide, what would be the best way for them to contact you or someone in your department?
Best way to contact anyone in my department is really to go through me, because everyone's out in the field. They can call City Hall and be transferred to me. There's a direct number for me, 794-3800. They can call me direct. If I'm not there, leave a voicemail because I run a lot.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to Goddard at a Glance and learning more about the Public Works Department and the City of Goddard.